Hey everyone, welcome back to the tax show for people who owe. I'm Dave.
And I'm Phil.
And today, unfortunately, we're talking about a painful topic. And what is that topic, Phil?
Divorce.
Divorce. More importantly, how divorce impacts taxpayers who owe. Phil's here to explain how it could impact you if you're considering divorce or are divorced and you have a tax balance. Phil, what does it look like?
So if you file married filing separate, it's a little bit cleaner because each taxpayer will owe what they owe, and you pay based on your facts and circumstances.
We all know that's not always the case. In fact, we represent, unfortunately, a lot of clients who fall into the other category, which is married filing joint. What does that look like?
So married filing jointly, when you sign that return, you're actually agreeing that you're jointly and severally liable for the whole amount. So if Dave and I were married and we owe taxes of $100 for that year, what IRS can do is pursue David and pursue myself for that full $100 independently.
Got it. So if you sign a return, everyone who signs the return is liable for the balance?
Correct, for the full amount. And if we were to get divorced, David, what happens at the IRS is called mirroring. So they create two accounts from one, and so we owe $100, right? So they'll have $100 assigned to you and $100 assigned to me.
Doesn't seem to add up. Now that's $200 total. What if we both send in our payment?
Great question. So it's the race to 100, right? It's not that we owe 200 collectively. We actually still owe $100, but as soon as we reach $100 in payments, the debt is going to be reconciled.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that two potentially warring people are supposed to come together and agree on who's going to manage the tax balance?
Yeah, and it's very common in the divorce decree that outlines who's responsible for paying those back taxes.
And if it's not, what happens?
They're going to have to sort it out themselves.
Well, that sounds very messy. You can see these are two people that probably may not be seeing eye to eye already, and now they're asked to sort out a tax debt.
Right.
So if it is outlined in the divorce decree, isn't it pretty simple?
You would think so, but unfortunately the divorce decree is not recognized by the IRS, right? Like I talked about earlier, they're going to split the account and they're going to pursue that $100 from myself and from you. And so say I was responsible for paying all the taxes, but you ended up paying for $20 of it. What you can do as the injured party here is pursuing civil court using that divorce decree.
So that's a lot of work. And it does sound like the IRS isn't going to really help you solve the problem.
No, they're just going to collect the most they can from whomever they can.
While we're talking about divorce decrees, Phil, we often get calls from taxpayers who owe who claim that their ex has used a dependent that was assigned to them in a divorce decree or outlined for them. What relief do they have?
Generally speaking, very little. It's first in time, first in right. So whoever's going to file that tax return first with that dependent claimed on the tax return is going to get access to the credit and any other exemptions there.
So you can see this is a pretty heated situation often. And the injured party, what is their relief? What can they do then?
It's going to be up to civil court to enforce that divorce decree. So again, it's labor intensive. So in an ideal situation, you would have parties that are amicable post-divorce complying with their divorce decree. And even if you were to pay $20 on liability I was supposed to pay, I would just reimburse you for that outside of court.
Got it. So it sounds like if you are divorced and you have a tax balance, it's not quite that easy.
Yes, David. While a divorce attorney is great for getting the parties on the same page and agreeing to the terms, when you're working with the IRS with their back tax problems, it doesn't hold much weight. So we recommend hiring a tax professional to guide you through all your options.
Great advice again, guys. If you are divorced and have a tax balance, download our app and request help for Optima. We'll let you know what those options are. Thanks again for joining us today. Phil, any last parting words?
As usual, do something, especially if you're dealing with joint tax problems. You don't want to rely on your ex to handle your tax issues.
Good advice. See you next time, everyone. Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching today. Please be sure to like
And subscribe.
so you are up to date with all the information you need when you're taking on the IRS.
And as always, do something.